gone to their own native places, they all came back. Most of the people. So I think last time also when ABB was trying to open, the same thing happened. Also exactly on the same day.
Yeah. That is what I also remember. Meaning, you start to open, the new wave is also. Meaning, we are coinciding it with the wave starts.
So then we have to close it again. So it's better to be.
One person he flew from this Orissa to alone to Bangalore, and 7 days quarantine over. He was ready to come to office today. Now officially we can't ask him to go back.
So actually it was told that let people not go back because they have come back, right? Now again they should not go back.
Now, if they go back again, you will have all these problems. Then when they come back again, this whole thing will start.
Yes. I think the thing is the managers should encourage employees not to go back. They have to stay here. And then again, he was also telling to Harish, he should also help people to find their PGs and help them in some way. But then Harish doesn't want to take the responsibility.
To satisfy them. So you just imagine so many people.
Right. So he was very apprehensive, but then finally agreed that they'll give numbers and the places, addresses, and if they want some transport to go around and look, that can be arranged, all that.
Yeah. I think that is more than sufficient. Good help.
Correct. Yeah, that will be a good help actually, yes. So that's what now the next thing is. People should not now rush back.
I think some more guidelines we can expect for that.
Yeah, but my daughter's school is still there, so 10th, 11th, 12th still closed, school is there.
Oh, 10th, 11th is there, yes.
And they have stopped the online. Her school has stopped the online classes. From yesterday
I think that is school preference, I think. As I understood, many of them are going on hybrid mode. At least my niece's school is in hybrid mode.
It was until yesterday. Yesterday is the first day my daughter started going to school, and by 9:30 I got a message from principal. All the online classes are removed. There were some 9-10 people online. They all removed them.
Okay, I think we'll start.
Yes, we'll start.
Otherwise,
there's no end to this.
Yes, there's no end to COVID.
There's no end to samsara.
Yes, there is no end to samsara. So, yesterday I got one good analogy to what we were discussing in the morning. So I was talking to Srihari and then that thing came up. So now to experience this Nirvikalpa Samadhi, you can do something like this. Is you watch an oil lamp. That light is the consciousness, which is make it as you. That light shines everywhere. It lights up the room or it lights up wherever it is lit, that oil lamp. Now it has three components. One is the lamp, which can take oil and wick. Then you have oil and you have wick. Now the wick is the prarabdha. Okay. The oil is the food what you are giving, and the solid, that lamp, is the 5 elements. Now what you need to do is just watch the light. Now in case the oil is not pure, you will see different shades of colors coming on the light. So we will call that as raga, dvesha and moha, or we can call it as sattva, rajas, tamas, whichever combination thinks. The mistake is not there in the wick. If the wick goes away, then there is no light. Meaning if the prarabdha goes away, then there is nothing called as light, even though the oil is there and that lamp is there. Now we have to look at the oil. If the oil is dirty, then the light is also affected because it is coming through the wick. So this wick can be put as prarabdha, sanchita and agami karma. So as long as karma remains, that lamp is going to be there. The light might go away, but it will again re-establish whenever the right opportunity comes. So if we take sattva, and let's take tamas for a change to begin with. On that lamp is a covering which is made out of glass, but over a period of time that has soot and dust. So whatever is colored in the lamp gets colored in the outside. So this outside thing is the manas. Now when the manas has colors, colored by the passion or by hatredness or by whatever, then the buddhi, which is supposed to clear up that mess, which is the soot, gets muddled up with the same soot. So the buddhi has become manda, or the buddhi has become not sharp. Now when the intellect is not sharp, it will perceive things which are not true to be true. So it will get into viparya, hallucination. And because light is there, whatever it falls on that is that buddhi, it then falls on that glass container, which is the manas. So the experiencer is there, manas. The experience provider is that light, but the via media of experiencing is that buddhi. Now since it is manas which is suffering or enjoying that, there is an I, because there should be something which takes that ownership. So there is this ego called as I. So what we need to do, if we were to be in nirvikalpa samadhi, is to know that the consciousness is that light. There is no other thing other than this light. Now when there is light, all of these dust can get accumulated. So we can see that in the morning sun also. So let's come back to this story. So now the job of the intellect is to remove the dirt in the oil, because that is going to affect the wick. So what we are supposed to do using the intellect is to know the reality, that is light. How do I know it? By cleansing that glass. I cannot touch that consciousness, that light, but I can perceive it through the heat it is giving. So then I can say that, okay, now I understand the reality, which is light. So if the suit is cleared, then the sattva guna starts. If the suit is there, then tamo guna starts. So if I am considering I am, and then I'm attaching wife and husband and children and office and all that, it means that there is suit covering that glass. So the manas, no matter how much intellectually manas can understand, the suit is not removed. Meaning, outside we are cleaning, inside we are not cleaning. So that means that we are looking at the other person's mentality and changing that person's mentality to suit our mentality, rather than clearing up our mentality in order to make it transparent. So let's say if I am able to do that transparent, that container which is put on that lamp in order not to switch off, otherwise it can go away at any time. So this manas ensures that it doesn't go away. So as long as that manas is remaining as a glass, so long the birth is going to be there, because it is covering that up nicely. Whether it is pure, that is, if the manas is not having any blemishes, any suit, then it is pure. If that manas is having blemishes or the suit, then it is impure. Now let's look at impure, what we call as impure mind. The impure mind has mainly raga, dvesha and moha. The moha here is that the name and form is treated as real, because that is the suit which is there. Now when that is true, the buddhi accepts to the view that all of this are real. So Jagat becomes reality, and that reality is experienced by the mind, because it is not able to see anything other than this suit, because that is what is covering. So then the person is in darkness, which is called as tamo guna. So he cannot see anything at all, or she cannot see anything at all. Now by chance, for whatever reason, that suit is cleared, then the sattva is going to happen. If the sattva is going to happen, then he sees a different reality now. The manas starts experiencing a different reality. Now what if that glass were to be removed completely, and now only the wick, oil, which is pure oil now, and the lamp is there? Then what happens? Then there is nothing to imagine, no vikalpa, nirvikalpa. So savikalpa is a stage when it is pure glass which is shining. What if this light removes that mind? Then there is nothing to imagine. Without imagination, there is no mind. So transactions are just transactions because mind is required to evaluate the transaction. Now the question comes, how can a person who has got liberated still transact in the world outside? Now this is the most difficult answer to be given, because now we have to say that there should be mind, and there should be this, there should be that, there should be intellect. But then when you remove that glass, you will know that it can be done, it can be transacted. You don't require an intermediary, the glass. So now when the light goes away, meaning whether the wick could not withstand it, or the oil went off, or whatever it is, the prarabdha went off, then the light goes away. Now light cannot itself establish without that glass. Since that glass is no longer there, it doesn't come back. That would be the complete liberation from samsara. For whom? For this light. So what we need to do is, as a practice from Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, is to first watch how did this lamp come into existence, which is solid. So Shankaracharya starts with looking at the body. So we have done that. So we looked at Annamaya Kosha, then Taittiriya Upanishad way of looking at it. So we saw the Annamaya Kosha, then we looked at the Pranamaya Kosha, then Manomaya Kosha, then Vijnanamaya Kosha and Anandamaya Kosha. So we saw all the 5 koshas. The Anandamaya Kosha is the one which has the glass. So there is an Ananda when things happen to what one likes. So that light actually makes that mind, this glass, to experience whatever it is coming there. And because the intellect, buddhi, Brahma has happened, that is, the buddhi has gone into a illusion mode. It believes that is sukha. So now the observation, when we say awareness meditation, what it means? Awareness meditation means being aware of that light. Who has to be aware of this light? The intellect is aware of that light. So when the intellect is aware of that light, what it is going to do? It is going to clean up that soot or dirt on that glass. Now who experiences it? It is that glass which experiences through intellect. So if there is soot, that much strong I is there. If there is no soot, there is no I in the first place. So then with I not being there, there are only 3 parties involved now. One is manas, one is buddhi, another one is chitta. The chitta is that light which we are talking about as an individual light, which is attached to that wick and due to oil. Now the oil is purified because that when the intellect finds that there is soot, it first verifies the oil. So it cleans up the oil and also cleans up the wick which is carrying that oil. So when that raga, dvesha, moha are not there in the oil nor in the wick, the light is pure and bright. And since there is always cleaning happening, there is no way the soot can or the dirt can accumulate on the glass. So this is the first step. So the experiencer and experienced. The experiencer is the glass. The experienced is the intellect. But the experience provider is the chitta. Now the next step. Remove that glass. So what remains now is only the buddhi and that chitta. Only 2 things. Now after a while, the buddhi becomes very refined. It almost replicates that light. So it merges with the chitta. So now what remains is only chitta. Now when only chitta is remaining, it has reached the state of Ishvara. Now it can do whatever it wants. So it can manifest, it can fly, it can do anything it wants. So there are a lot of siddhis which gets because the chitta has all the siddhis. It also has all the memories of all the past lives. So it knows everything. It's all knower. But it is not all seer. So now if it is dropping itself off, then it sees itself in everything. That is, it sees every being as itself, no separate from itself. So then the Ishvara concept is also gone. with the merging of the intellect. So it is in itself. This is called as true self, the only self which is remaining till it goes out of existence. So in this way we can practice. So right now we have to see whether we are knowing we are the lamp, that is a complete lamp, which is having that solid vessel with the oil and the wick and the lamp and the light, called as the lamp. If sattva starts to come, then the person can first time see that it is not the lamp, it is a solid object. So this body is a solid object. But when you try to see the solid object, it becomes liquid. And then you can see there is heat. And then you can see there is vayu. So now you can see all the four elements. And you can see that it is enclosed in a space. So you can see the fifth element. So this is what sattva can do. And then the cleansing process starts because the intellect is refined. So now what it does is that it cleans up that oil. With all the dirt is removed. So it is purified oil. Then it also purifies the wick. If that happens, then that light is shining as a pure bright light which is completely sattva. Then the next step, that container is removed, that is the glass covering that lamp is removed. So when the manas container goes away, it takes away itself the I. So there is no longer I, only the buddhi and this chitta is there. So now it removes the intellect. Then only chitta remains. And then you have become that self, which is undivided and always being there. And it goes out of existence once its prarabdha completes. Any questions on this step by step using the lamp?
So the light which is coming out in this case is the Chaitanya.
Correct.
And Vic is Prarabdha.
Yes.
Okay, now Prarabdha burns. The Prarabdha burns, yeah. And then one day the Vic will be over.
Correct.
Isn't it? That's how it is.
Yes, and the lamp is gone.
But the lamp, if it is continuously on, Chaitanya is there, the life of Vic also can extend.
That's what we are doing by adding raga, dvesha, moha. So the oil has raga, dvesha and moha.
Oh, oil has got raga, dvesha, moha. Okay, moha. Okay.
So it can keep on coming.
But the real Chaitanya is within that oil, right? Finally, if you see the energy, Chaitanya is within that, and finally it is converted from that oil to that light.
No, the
Once that light is coming out, then oil is over.
No, the light is light. It requires something to burn. It can burn in oil, it can burn in anything, right? Anything that has an viscosity or oil, it will burn. It should have some nutrients to burn. So
It's like a fire. It's like a fire. It is there in the wood,
everything.
but then, but something has to trigger it to burn.
Yes.
So once it is burned, it is gone. So we can't say the fire is gone, right?
Yes, it is.
It's there. It's there, but there's no way to manifest it.
Yes. So it goes back to unmanifested state. I'll give
So,
another.
fire or that Chaitanya, it was there so far in the whole, in your that example, it was there in oil. And through the wick, it came out and it is visible in the form of fire. Once that oil is over, fire is invisible. That means this energy is there in the nature, that's understood somewhere. But where exactly is that gone now? Invisible is okay, but to where it is invisible? So far it was within that oil.
No, I'll give you another
Then
example.
through the wick it is transformed.
I'll give you another example. Now you take a matchbox and a stick. Is there a light in the stick? No. Is there a light in the matchbox? No. When you rub it, you get it.
Then only it comes,
Yeah, so now the question is, was it there in the first place or was it not there? What would you reply to that? The answer here is, if the condition matches, then the light comes. If there is no condition, it doesn't exist. Meaning it...
Okay, but see, that I agree, that I have understood. In the same oil example, so far that energy was inside the oil. Can I say safely that, and now it is through wick, it came out in the form of fire, and then in the form of heat, it is dissipated in the nature. The question here is, in the nature it is dissipated, but energy is there somewhere in the form of heat. Where is that Chaitanya now? See, so far it was along with the oil. After that, is it with the Panchabhutas or it is just in the space somewhere?
No, that answer is like it is there everywhere. So you can't
there
say
everywhere.
it is there everywhere, right? See, now in your home, you rub anything, or in your face also, if you rub your hand, you will get heat.
But it can concentrate somewhere, right?
No.
This energy.
No, that is where...
Is it equally distributed or it is like...
No, it is.
I'm asking.
It is always equally distributed everywhere. It doesn't have inequality. Otherwise, it is not called as Brahman at all, right?
Okay, I think I have understood that.
Yes.
That means, today MD takes a decision of ABB. Tomorrow our office is closed. It is everybody will be back home, right? Nobody will visit office. That's why energy is there everywhere. Only the decision has come from his Chitta.
Correct.
Okay. But if condition meet, in that case, that bhavati, something will happen.
Yes. Otherwise, it will not.
If the conditions are not meeting, it will not happen. So meeting this condition is what? Is it a spiritual
Karma.
aspect?
It's
or
karma.
it is only the Prakriti aspect?
No. Making of everything is the Prakriti.
So it's a Prakriti's aspects. Okay.
All the 24 attributes are Prakriti only. Including Manas, Buddhi, everything is part of Prakriti. It is not part of Purusha at all. Purusha just
So even
lights up.
intelligence is also Prakriti.
Yes, intelligence is Prakriti only.
No, see, the thing is, when you just look at our galaxy, where your sun, moon, and all that is some distance, all these grahas and things are rotating in its own axis, and so many things are happening. In this condition, we are human beings. Agreed?
Correct.
So, to make all this happen, Prakriti has got its own intelligence, which means.
No, the Buddhi is part of Prakriti, whether it has own intelligence. See, the lighting up is done by Purusha. It gives life to something which has itself no life. Nirjiva becomes Jiva. But when it becomes
So,
Jiva...
Nirjiva to Jiva isn't the right definition. See, Jiva is Jiva, okay. Nirjiva is Nirjiva, Jadatva. But when it combines, it gives a feel of it is Jiva. See, my body, it gives a feel I have a Jiva because this body starts moving. If there is no Jiva inside, it will not move.
No, the body starts moving not because there is a Jiva there. The body starts moving because there is Vayu there. 5 elements are being moved by the consciousness.
What is it? 5 elements?
Are moved by the consciousness, by the Chaitanya.
Moved by Chaitanya, because of Chaitanya is the power there.
Yes, otherwise nothing
So
can move.
movement of Vayu happens, see, it's like this. Movement of Vayu happens because of temperature difference.
Yes,
A
that is
pressure difference happens because of temperature.
correct.
The temperature is
Agni.
it's Agni. And
Okay.
Agni is Prakriti now here.
All the 5 elements, including space, if they are coming together, is because of Chaitanya, not because that they can come together on its own.
Yeah, they're coming together. That happens because of Prakriti's own intelligence.
No, it
No?
doesn't. It has no information how to come together. It has only information that when it comes together, what should be done.
Okay, Prakriti has come in the form of human. What you're trying to say here?
I'm saying
Intelligence is the Prakriti, right?
Life is there where in the bija or in the growth of the bija. You tell me that.
Growing is life.
That's all.
What is there in the
Bija, what is
is just Avyakta.
What is there in the bija is Prakriti. What is making
Yeah.
it grow is Purusha. Right?
Making it to grow is Purusha. So Purusha will become active when the conditions met.
Yes. Otherwise, that seed will remain as a seed.
Yes.
In the same way, if a human being has to come to this world, the Purusha and Prakriti has to meet.
Yes.
Now, how does it meet? It meets based upon karma. Based upon the karma, a particular buddhi is given. That is called as Mahat. So we are going back to our initial.
What is Mahat here?
Mahat is buddhi.
Buddhi.
So we are again going back to our 24 tattvas. Okay, so now Purusha is least bothered whether it is a dumb person or a highly intelligent person. It doesn't matter to the Purusha. Does it really matter to the Purusha if somebody is dumb? You tell me that.
It is just energy.
It just lights up that person, that's all.
Yeah.
So who is Prakriti here? Who is Purusha here? Is the dumb person Purusha or smart person is Purusha?
All put together, it is inside you have Purusha only.
So who is the dumb person then?
Prakriti.
That's all. Who is the smart person?
It is also Prakriti.
So that's all. So it is the defect of the intellect which certifies that somebody is smart and somebody is dumb.
Okay. That measurement is wrong with respect to this.
And all measurements, irrespective of whatever we call, is done by Prakriti, not by Purusha. But because Purusha is there, you can measure. That is, because Chaitanya is there, you can measure. Because Chaitanya is there, you can identify. You is identified, you is the Prakriti, not Purusha. As many times I call myself as I is the Prakriti, not the Purusha. Purusha has no identification. That lamp has no identification. It is going to light anywhere you give it. It doesn't matter if it is a big lamp or a small lamp or a golden lamp or a silver lamp or whatever, mud lamp. As long as you are giving it oil and wick and that solid foundation, it will light. It has no definition, right?
Yeah.
All the definitions are there in the Prakriti. So if you are that Purusha, you are in Nirvikalpa. If you are in between, you are in Savikalpa. The job of Purusha, which is the light, is to make whatever Prakriti wants manifest. So sun has to get manifested, the sun will manifest. Moon has to get manifested, moon will manifest. Earth has to get manifested, earth will manifest. The water has to get manifested, water will get manifested. Then the grass has to get manifested, grass will manifest. Animals have to get manifested, animal will manifest. Same Purusha.
So Graha Gati is also happening because of
Purusha.
Prakriti.
No, Purusha. Because of Purusha, Graha Gati is happening. But Graha as such and Gati as such, they both are Nirjiva. By its own, it cannot do anything.
Okay, Graha Gati is happening through Purusha. My movement happens because of my karma.
Your movement is also happening due to Purusha. But that Purusha is, stay of the Purusha is defined by the karma. That's all. How long the Purusha is going to stay in this body is defined by the karma.
Defined by
Karma.
karma. Karma. Yes.
Actually, it is very easy to understand if you understand it in a way of equation. Everything is there in that equation, and when that equation has some position, the event happens. So you being there is a set of equations, set of attributes which is forming an equation, and you being that is also a part of that, meaning karma is one attribute. Of course, Purusha is one attribute which is common in all the equations that are there. And what gets manifested, how it gets manifested are all different attributes in that equation. So when that happens, it manifests like that. But without Purusha in that equation, there is no manifestation also.
Correct.
It is in the seed form.
Not even in the seed
But
form.
in the seed also Purusha is there, but Purusha is not.
No, Purusha is not there in the seed. Now, don't do this mistake. There is.
Purusha is not there in the seed, huh? Just Prakriti.
It's only Prakriti. Only if the, like what Padmashri said, only if the attributes matches, then the Purusha enters.
1 minute.
The seed is one attribute. The seed is one attribute. Purusha is another attribute. And Purusha is the
1
common
minute here.
attribute in all equations. Seed is one attribute, and the seed's natures are all other attributes that are there. The karma is another attribute. When you make all these things form in the form of a equation, then something gets manifested as either you or me or somebody else, and that is why we think that it is okay, because karma is is one of the attributes. It is not only because of karma, it is not only because of Purusha, it's a combination of all these things.
That is true. But I am unable to understand no Purusha in the seed. Because in the seed, if you put it in fire, then that whatever is that inside Chaitanya is lost. Then it will not grow.
No, the essence is lost, not Chaitanya is lost. It cannot grow. So let's say, but you keep the seeds in your pant.
Yeah.
Will it grow?
No.
If the Chaitanya was there in that seed, it should have grown irrespective of where you are keeping it, right?
My understanding was it was in the potential form, it is there.
Always.
Not manifested.
Yes. Potential means what? It can sprout anytime. That sprouting is the consciousness. Seed is not consciousness.
Changing. Yes. That is understanding.
See, I'll give another example.
So till then, potential form is also considered as Prakriti.
Yes, see, I will give our own live example. A lady is menstruating, so she has egg. A man is having semen. Right? will a child be born just because somebody is having egg and somebody is having sperm? That is the seed and this is the land. So the uterus is the land, the sperm is the seed. Condition is not met. So how can consciousness come there? So you can't say that you are not potential, right? You are having sperms. So you are very much potential to create another life. Yes or no? So if you say just having sperms means Purusha, that means it should be able to manifest without any condition.
Yeah, still my understanding is Purusha is there everywhere.
Yes, it is there everywhere. Absolutely true.
Only thing is, I am not able to see because of it is in the seed form.
No, it's not like that. It is you are not able to see because you are in tamas, not in sattva. And that is one factor. Number two factor is that you have covered that up, meaning with that glass. You have to throw out the glass and then you become that. So we can only give examples. We cannot really make somebody.
So I can experience Purusha being myself Purusha.
Yes. You cannot experience Purusha through
When everywhere everything is Purusha, there is nothing called Prakriti also.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
So we can only give examples to say how you can experience it.
Yeah, no, that's true.
But what really it is just the Purusha everywhere. Just like the nearest example here is, now you take a matchbox and a light and a matchstick. Don't rub it. You will never get fire.
Yes.
You take a woman, you take a man. Don't rub it.
I think in your day-to-day life, you see, between two people, when that discussion starts, there will be heated arguments or there can be some arguments. Something happens. So during that time, this flow of energy or something will come out as a project or as a something product.
Yes. So it is getting manifested. Everything is getting manifested.
Either I produce a good, something called say TV, or I produce something called a human being. All are something similar, right? When
Yes.
the conditions met, it will happen.
Yes.
So inside myself, for example, inside my car is also something like human being only. Only brain is not there, so it's also moving.
Yes. And using the same Purusha, you have created Prakriti, which is called as car.
Yes.
There was no car.
There is no car, only Panchabhuta, and I have put it together in such a way.
You can then
will
call
start
it as a
moving.
car. And what is another difference? Car doesn't have 6 senses, you have 6 senses. That's all.
Correct.
So now through senses, you can make sense of everything. Whereas car is inert, it cannot make out anything. So when we call a thing as a sentient being, it means it can sense.
Oh, that is the reason in Panchakosha is defined, and its ultimate, the top one is that intellect can create other other things
Yes.
in the Prakriti.
Yes.
That is superior from the Prakriti point of view.
Yes. So the job what we
When you
need.
reach to that superior, from there only you can go to others, so-called Purusha, by dropping all this.
Yes.
The dropping is nothing but it is not there after that.
Yes.
Till then it is only like illusion. Our Jagrata Avastha is also highest level of illusion.
Correct. Now you have picked up Vedanta correctly.
No, it gives a full clarity because that confusion was there throughout.
So this is what we need to do in this shloka. This is the practice.
So, with your power of that intellect, you can create anything.
Which is what we are doing.
From this Prakriti, because Purusha is always there.
Yes.
But you will be in Prakriti play only, like child play. You will never come out of that because you enjoy it.
Yes.
But actually, that enjoyment will have both sides. One is that suffering, one is that blissful feeling.
Yes.
Thinking you will have only good feeling, you keep doing it, but in that process, you are making continuous karma, again circles.
Correct.
The only way to come out is you should have a pure, good intellect.
Which will then merge with the reality.
Yeah. Yes.
So intellect in the witness. Witness is that light. And witness will now see itself everywhere. The light will see it everywhere. So there is no separation. And since there is no separation, the dual aspect is gone. So now we are in Advaita.
Yeah, actually, if you see no mother, no father, no teacher, and no mind, nothing, it is really a blissful feeling. And that is nothing but meditation, awareness meditation, right?
Yes.
If you really see for a moment there is nobody around you, you're almost like a sort of liberated person.
Yes.
No sukha, no dukkha.
Yes, absolutely.
And Prakriti is there everywhere all the time. You only created that. It is your part is only this small one house on the 30-40 side. But everything is yours. That way you say.
Yes.
Even having in mind 30-40 side, what freedom you have. You cannot take that away. It is there. That's it. You can only eat food is coming out of that.
Yes.
So actually, intellect is the one which is creating this duality or diversity. Right?
Yes.
Yes.
And the ultimate experienced is the intellect.
Yes, everything is happening in the intellect.
Yeah, so the ultimate experienced is that.
Yes, the experiencer is the manas, the experienced is the intellect. But experience provider is the chitta, which is the light.
Chitta. Yeah, but we falsely assume that we are experiencing all those stuff we see outside. But it's all the intellect, actually.
Yes, the intellect is the one which has got totally deluded. So it's a deluded intellect. And deluded intellect put the pictures on that glass, which is the mind. So through the mind, it enjoys or suffers and make that I, because intellect can also create I. So now that I will get spread out on that glass. So then I can say I am seeing, I am hearing, I am tasting, I am touching, I am smelling, I am thinking, I am eating, I am sleeping, I am walking, I am talking, all that will be there. The language and definitions and syntax and the meanings and the science and technology, all that is part of intellect. Since it shines on the intellect, since that chitta shines on the intellect, the more it shines brighter, the sharper it becomes. But the sad part of it is the more sharper it becomes, the more egoistic it becomes.
Yes, correct.
But that doesn't mean that if somebody is dumb, that doesn't mean that he doesn't have an ego. He is not able to recognize. That's a problem with an autistic person. He cannot recognize, or a dementia person. He cannot recognize. So the objective here is to cleanse that glass first and cleanse the oil, and then the intellect becomes pure. With the pure intellect, it can watch who is giving the light, which is the chitta. So the chittas don't have any dirt at all any longer. So the intellect merges with the manifest, the witness. And when it merges with the witness, there is no manas, there is no ahankara, there is no buddhi. Only chitta remains, and only when the chitta remains, it can now see itself everywhere, and hence it becomes Advaita. So this is a supreme peace. All-knowing, all-seeing, omnipotent, omnipresent, and having all kind of psychic powers, because it has everything. So 307.
So the word what we use as a bidugade, that means
Liberation.
yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
What I'm telling is that when you come out of whatever your attachment, for example, you are not getting what you want. Just take a case of a person is expecting promotion and he is not able to get that promotion. But with this mindset, there's nothing called promotion. Whether he gets the promotion, he doesn't get the promotion, he's always happy, right?
Yes.
Similarly, eating also. I want a hot, good, nice food, Indian food, and you are somewhere in Europe. If you don't get it, if you get it, both are same. Because something called that taste itself is developed by your mind, that you are dropping that taste. Then it is just food.
Correct. Example.
When you're in that state, you have everything, right? So there's nothing.
Yes, everything is there. Everything is there means actually you don't need anything there.
Correct.
Because you are not attached to the taste, not attached to that sparsha sukha, or not attached to.
You're full. Purna.
Yeah, you are already filled. No positions required in the social. And somebody dies in your family also close. Again, no feeling, because you know that it is not death. Death is different. Because you are not lost.
No,
Some
it's not.
Vidugade has happened to something. There
No.
is a form which is formed because of energy, Purusha, something is formed and it's growing. So the process is over. There it ends. It's like a closure of a project. There is no sukha, no dukkha. If somebody is expired, a close person, no sukha, no dukkha here.
That is right. So you have reached nirvana right now. So this is what is nirvana
If
all
you deeply
about.
think, you are right. If you deeply think, you are right. That moment gives so good feeling.
Yes, without mind, without that glass container, without that intellect, it's peace. So we're at 9:30 almost.
Yeah, we can continue tomorrow.
Okay, good day to everyone then, and happy being in nirvana. I think all the four are in good amount of nirvana right now.
It's a very good, pleasant feeling. That's true.
Yeah. So if you contemplate on this lamp, certainly you'll experience it. After I spoke to Sri Hari, I've been trying to do that. It really makes you experience immediate.
Yes.
Okay, good day then.
Okay. Good day. All. Okay, bye.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.